Hello and welcome. I am Raziel. And so the wargaming scene at the moment is very exciting in my opinion. It seems to be a lot happening and a lot of good things too. We are seeing many companies just grow, produce more games, make better games, just being a lot more proactive within the manufacturing and design than we've seen in a long time. If you play any game that's not the mainstream, such as Mantic, Wild West Exodus, Conquest, you kind of learn that editions do last for a long time. This isn't a bad thing in any sense, but I do understand that sometimes rules need to be changed or updated. New armies that the designers and creators think of, or they want to try something new with a current rule set, which would totally upend the current rule set. So we need to add new ones. And when we're looking at these different companies out there now, actually pushing new stuff on a more regular basis. We're seeing new models more regularly from Conquest. New armies. This year alone, they've got 2 armies out. The Weevil Court. I'm going to get this one. Weevil Courts and the Yuan. I hope I pronounced those both right. And with Mantic, we've had a new army for Firefight, a new army for Kings of War. We've got Champions. We've got the Assassin's Creed game coming. We've also got the Terrors for Firefight. Have I said that one? And the Twilight Kin for Kings of War. And we've got the new edition of Dystopian Wars from Warcradle, which I forgot to mention in a different video. But I will be talking about that sooner or later when I can get the rules and read them. And so this influx of new games and new models and better, and that's the other thing. It's not just the new games and improving old systems, like the ones I've mentioned. We're seeing new plastics coming out. We're seeing better sculpting coming from these companies. I really do like the new Conflict 47 models. They look really cool. I like the new plastic from Mantic. It's very cool. It's very sturdy, very nice. I know people say it's not. It's the same plastic as 40k, but 40k tends to use hollow. The molds tend to be more hollow than what Mantic does. Mantic tend to have a more sturdy and solid kit. And the same with World of Exodus, their new plastic that they've started releasing as well and for Armored Clash, and I will have to say Dystopian Wars as well. I haven't put any Dystopian Wars for a while. Again, we're seeing so many improvements from these companies that I think the health of the wargaming hobby is in a very healthy place. And with that, we have seen more lore coming out. Of course, there's going to be lore for Conflict 47 in the rulebook. There has been a lore book released for Conquest. There's a new book for Warpath as well. There's a new novel coming out for that as well as the rulebook, which will include some lore. Which, again, this stuff really shows that they are wanting to expand their universes. And they want to expand it into a place where it's not just about the models. Now, that's why I'm here. I'm here because I love the models. I love painting. I love building and I like playing. I'm sorry. That was a slip of tongue where people say I like painting, not so much. But I do like painting Wild West Exodus models. They're really fun to paint. They really are. Anyway, on track to what I was saying. When we see this stuff happening in real time, we're seeing it happening now. Models September is going to be a good month for wargaming. Conflict 47's coming out. Warpath's coming out very soon. So you've got 2 games from 2 great companies that both make great games. Whether you like the games or not, right, this is something I've said before and I say it again. You can understand something being good, but not like it, or knowing it doesn't appeal to you. You can understand that. That's something I think a lot of people need to learn, and I think it's very important to learn. take a bolt action. I'm not a fan of bolt action. It's a good game. It's a fun game. It's just not for me. Where Conflict 47 is definitely the sort of game I would play. And a lot of these games are now being streamlined into faster paced games as well. Having speed of type of game it is and how quickly it is to play being a big marketing part, which makes sense because a good game doesn't last 4 hours. Now, I want to explain something to you, going back in the day. Going way back, a 2,000 point game was rare. Most games were like 500 to 1,000 points in 40k. Very, very small games. And they'd take a couple of hours. When the army started to expand up to 2,000, now 3,000 points, the games take longer, and with their turn sequencing, it just stretches out even more. Where if you play I know people from World of Exodus is not going to like this. 2,000 point game for World of Exodus. Okay, about 200. So we say about 500 point game. A really big game. It still doesn't take 4 or 5 hours to play. It's a quick game, and that's really important to a lot of people. Most of the hobbyists I know and you see online aren't young whippersnappers. The young guys. You would get a lot of them. There's a lot of, kids in school who are playing the game and playing the hobbies. That's cool, and I'm glad. I hope they grow into the hobby as well and grow the hobby. However, most people aren't that. We are people who have jobs. We are people who cannot have these massively long games, and we're seeing the other companies like Mantic, like I said, publicizing that the games take 1 to 2 hours, and they're designing them for quick games, knowing their player base doesn't have the time for a massive game. Pardon me. And that's one part. The other part we also see is that they do seem to be actively competing with each other as well. We're seeing a very much a definitive price for most things that everyone's kind of sticking to. We're talking like skirmish games. We're talking about £40 a box. Basic troops for most people is like £20 to £25 a box. And big starter sets are usually about £95 to £100. We're seeing this competition between all the companies and they're working together, but at competition as well, because they want people to play their games, but they also know that the people who do play their games are wargamers, so they will play other games. And it's like a monopoly, but not being a monopoly at the same time. They know if they were to price them too high, they would price themselves out the market straight away within this sort of more indie side of wargaming. And there's also, when you see them releasing games close together, they release different types of games. You rarely see two games being released together being the same type. Like what we're getting now, we've got Dystopian Wars, which is naval warfare. We got Warpath, which is 10mm epic scale, and Conflict, which is 28mm. So they're all releasing different types of games, so they know what their market likes and what they want, but they're not going like, hey, we're just going to release brand new Firefight next to Conflict 47, because we play so many different games that it's too much of a risk for them to say, we'll do this, but not realize which way the customer will go. Obviously, we all have our favorites, but given the niche aspect of this, it's hard for a company to go, right, if we release Firefight next to Conflict 47, our fans will go to us. But they wouldn't, but the Conflict 47 fans wouldn't. Or the 28mm fans, like myself, wouldn't. I mean, I don't mind Epic. Epic size is okay, it's just not my thing. But, like I was saying, it means they want a specific market to go to them this time, and next time they'll release something else for a different demographic who, like I said, might like 28mm, or we might see a Kings of War Armada come back out. And so we don't know. I don't know. But it's interesting to see how these companies are competing yet working together at the same time. This gives me a lot of hope for the wargaming hobby as a whole right now, just because of this and seeing these companies do this and seeing them growing and expanding their range, and the quality of their models are just skyrocketing right now. The quality of their sculpts are skyrocketing. Everything is getting better. We are going to get to a point where the Games Workshop shills and fans want to admit it or not, Mantic, Conquest, Warlord Games, Warcradle, who in my opinion have already done this, are going to beat Games Workshop in quality. They're going to beat Games Workshop in sculpting quality as well. So GW models are going to look the worst out of everyone because of their stagnation and no competition, where companies actually competing have to make the better models now. Which is why I like the Conflict 47 Airborne. I'm so tempted to paint them up like Vietnam and Apocalypse Now. The 101st Airborne, I believe it is in that one. 101st Air Cavalry. I really want to paint them like that. Use that patch while they're on when they put on yellow and black. So there you go. This is just my thoughts for today. Like I said, I'm going to be expanding into other parts of the hobby now, like not just like into geekdom as well. I'm going to be doing more comic stuff, more video stuff, video game stuff, maybe touch on some movie stuff. It's all going to be basically what my feelings are towards what's happening, and maybe for a review once in a while, like box reviews and stuff like that. Which reminds me, my lovely daughter has just bought me the Saturnine box. Yeah, so I will be reviewing that box. I'm not going to send it back. I'm not going to get a refund for it. I'm not going to get money back for it. My little girl got it for me, so why I'm not sending it back. Okay, as much as I didn't want to buy it, and I didn't, it just feels unfair. I wouldn't do that to my little girl. Right? So expect a Saturnine box review coming up next week. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Have a lovely day. If you wish to save money on your wargaming, of course, there is Wayland Games down below with up to 20% off, free delivery after 20 pounds, and they have a point system which kind of adds up to an extra 1%, and it's all cool and all groovy, and I think more people should go there. I do buy myself stuff from them, okay? I do use them. I'm not just saying, like, I've used them for years now. I'm not just saying, hey, go to Wayland Games because they gives me money. Like, no, even if I wasn't getting money from them, I would still say go to Wayland Games. Forbidden Planet, same reasons. I love comics, I love manga, DVDs and all that, or movies. So check them out as well. Again, it's another shop I actually go to. I go to it when I'm in Bristol. There's also my merchandise, links in the description. If you want to check out my comics, see Little Red Riding Hood go ham on some Lovecraftian cyborg werewolves, or a tentacle monster massacring some teenagers. 2 different comics, 2 different stories. Oh, and this cheaper one actually had a film made out of it, which was cool, and got shown at the Bristol Everyman Festival. Yeah, that was kind of cool. There's also Skyfall, is a good friend of mine. Let's get him up the Google algorithm, and finally, Patreon, because business. And I will probably Patreon. You're just gonna get a shout out, and I might update with what I'm painting and do like small little shorts just for about one of what I'm painting and what I'm doing at the moment. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.